Penis.
Welcome, everyone, to the AFK podcast. I am your host, Afro Black, coming at y'all with yet another episode with my co host, Mr. Markov's Portrait, and a frequently just gone face, Mr. Flip Flop, because he's a bitch and don't know how to actually show up. Say hello to the people.
Last week you changed it.
No, I didn't. I literally said, hey, 7:30. Roll at
Well, we didn't
7:30
do it
rolls
last
around.
week. It was
Not
like
one
at
person said
10:30.
anything.
It was 10:30 last
Hello
week.
to the people.
No, it won't. No, it wasn't.
Yes,
No one, not
yes, it
one
was.
person said 10:30.
Motherfucker, last week I told you I wanted to join. And you was like, it's gonna be at like 10:30, and I was like, I go
No,
to bed at
that
that
was a
time.
week before last.
Oh, okay. So you purposely try to get rid of me.
No!
That's what it sounds
Why
like
would
to me.
I change the times that we record just to say, nah, I've been trolling you, dog. I don't want you on this fucking podcast.
That's what you do.
That sounds overly convoluted versus me just simply saying, yeah, I don't want you to show back up, dog.
It's kind
You
of
ass.
it is.
Anyways. Carter, did you say your intro? This motherfucker's giving me an aneurysm.
I've said it like 4 times.
Fantastic.
Trying to break the tension.
Love you, Carter. Love you.
Listen, the tension is... Listen, it used to be you and Kevin. Now it has to be me and Philip, okay?
No, it used to be Kevin shouting over me. There wasn't a conversation to have. There was no tension. Just screams.
Jesus. Anyways, we got a shit ton of articles for y'all because it's been, I think, a week? No, 2 weeks since we did the last episode. Which, by the way, do we want to make this every other week? I'm wondering if maybe like every other week would be nice. Also, Carter, you muted yourself. Anyways, yeah, we got quite a few articles for y'all tonight, so we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. First one being from Games Radar. Apparently, the massive Pokemon fan game charting Ash's 25-year-long journey is wrapping up alongside the anime. With over 50 gyms and 800 Pokemon, Fire Ash is seriously impressive in scope. If you're not ready to say goodbye to Ash Ketchum and the crew as the 10-year-old's 25-year journey through the Pokemon anime comes to a close, that's really weird to hear. 10-year-old's 25-year journey. Interesting.
For real.
There's a very cool way to keep the adventure going. Pokemon Fire Ash, a fan ROM hack that aims to recreate the entire anime storyline. Says AIM, but Fire Ash already covers the story through the Alola region, making it current with all but the most recent seasons of the Pokemon anime. The game doesn't fully recreate every bit of dialogue from the show or anything, but in the opening minutes you'll wake up late on Get Your First Pokemon Day, pick up a Grumpy Pikachu, fight Spearows on your way to Viridian City, and encounter Team Rocket as the first Pokemon Center. The map is similar to the original game's layout, though it's altered to include notable bits from the anime like the coral behind Professor Oak's lab. Of course, since this covers the entire anime, it also squeezes over 50 gyms and over 800 Pokemons into a single package, and includes regions like the Orange Islands that were never seen in the original RPGs. The game was built with RPG Maker and a long-running line of game creation engines that let you build games in the mold of classic Japanese RPGs. RPG Maker's user-friendly nature makes it a popular tool for fan game developers, and a specific set of assets called Pokemon Essentials replicates creatures and gameplay systems from across the series' history in the Gen 3 GBA style. There are many other fan games built using Pokemon Essentials. Fire Ash just happens to be one of the most impressive in scope. The devs are planning one more big update to introduce the Galar region to the game and catch up with the final anime episodes featuring Ash, and that update is expected to land around May or June of this year. From there, the project is winding down, both because Ash's story is ending and because the game is reaching the upper limit of the number of maps in an RPG Maker title can support. Which, I mean, I'd say that's pretty fitting. But
That was pretty bad.
yeah, yeah. So also for people that don't know, the very last episode of Ash's Journey aired, I believe, Friday. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good for him.
What do you guys think about that? Carter? Philip? What's going on?
I stopped watching Pokemon a long time ago.
That's fair.
I like the games. I like games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna
I,
lie, I completely skipped Alola and watched bits and pieces of X and Y, but the one on Netflix is actually pretty solid.
Fair. Also, I will say, I like ROMs because fuck them. They hate them, so I like them.
Oh, this has been an
True.
ongoing like rant slash tangent of Carter and I's.
Yeah.
It's
I have checked out this fan mod specifically. It's been a few years. Like one of the first builds, I think, when I had played it, he was only up to the Orange Islands. But I did not realize until I found this article that it was still being worked on and that they had done so much to it.
goddamn.
I just thought it was really cool to see, and it's like a really cool tribute to the anime
Oh fuck
that
yeah.
I don't feel like the games have done properly since like Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah, no. That after the first gen games, they completely deviated, which I mean, I'm not mad about, but I just wish that Nintendo wasn't so hostile towards ROM hacks, so people could make them for them, and they could just leave it be. Because
Yeah.
Philip, as our the people that actually watch the show, and Carter and I know, it's crazy how Nintendo will get pissed off at people making ROM hacks slash like ROM ports of the other games, but they're perfectly okay with making the actual iterations of the previous gen games just disappear forever because they don't want to port them over to the Nintendo shop or to the newest one, anyways.
Nintendo hates us.
Yeah, basically. They also apparently don't like money. One of the most impressive gaming fucking behemoth franchises or gaming developer giants, and they just are just sitting there just twiddling their thumbs, sitting on a gold mine doing nothing with it. Quite saddening. But yeah, no. This is actually the first time I've heard about this specific ROM hack. And I think it's quite not only impressive but respectable that they have been keeping like pace with the anime. And I honestly think that this will become a lot more popular after the show actually ends. I can definitely see like a massive spike in downloads after they see the final episode in English.
That's fair.
hmm
I'm down.
Probably.
Do a live stream playthrough of it.
It'd be rad.
On God.
But yeah, that's a cool little snippet. Moving on to the next one. What the fuck is this? Oh, Microsoft thinks it hasn't pulled any games from PS5 or PS4. Why don't you tell us about that, Carter? What's going on?
Hasn't what, huh?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Right.
So this article is in response to another story that came out this week, where one of the game designers on Redfall came out and said publicly, "Yeah, we were working on a PS5 version of Redfall, but after the buyout of Microsoft getting Bethesda, they immediately canceled the plans for the PS5 version," according
Oh,
to this employee. Um, they have responded to that in this article, saying they do not believe that they have pulled any games from PlayStation and feel that they have actually expanded their footprint of games that they have shipped on Sony's PlayStation since the acquisition of ZeniMax. And the first two games we shipped after closing were in fact PS5 exclusives, referring to Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh,
Excuse me. They then further stated to discuss how Microsoft has not pulled any pre-existing Bethesda games since the Bethesda takeover, and that content updates are continuing to arrive for both platforms.
Philip, you were gonna say something?
oh, I was gonna say. So they said. So I don't think that we pulled any games, but in fact we gave them 2 games. But they didn't really answer if they actually pulled that game or not.
Correct.
Yeah, this is very much like a PR statement.
Right? But I will say, I don't give a fuck. They deserve one.
I mean that's fair. I mean,
Look, I'm
like,
all for games on everything because that's what I would prefer.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I'm aware, PlayStation loves to cry wolf,
Yes.
and fuck them. To be honest,
Well, that's not my issue. I agree with you that I think that making console exclusive games kind of just hurts the consumer more than anything else. It doesn't really affect like the other companies to begin with. Um, so my only issue with this is just like I don't understand why you just say that yeah, we did cancel the fucking PS5 version of Redfall. Like
yeah,
it is
just
what it
say
is.
that.
Like I understand that obviously Sony fans are not going to like that, but it's just like at the same time Sony has a shit ton of fucking console exclusive that Xbox people specifically can't play. So
And
like it is what it is. It happens on both sides. It's just like but why are you're just like they're basically saying we can't like prevent a game from or we can't pull a game from another console if it technically didn't exist yet.
fair.
That's like basically that's how I'm translating it in my head. It's they're just saying no, we did it because it didn't exist
Yeah,
yet.
I just can't say I necessarily blame them.
No, like
No.
that's a
And
business
I see us
practice that
getting a
they've been
similar
doing.
story again.
Sony has been
Yeah.
very open about saying "fuck you guys," and so I just feel like, yeah, I mean, we deserve one at least, or at least in Xbox's eyes. Like, can't you just let us get our? Can I have my stuff?
Nope.
Like you won't share your toys, but I have to share my fucking toys. You're one of those kids.
Yeah,
Yeah. I expect a similar situation to pop up and be more vocal when like Starfield comes out.
true.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm actually looking forward to Redfall a little bit more than Starfield at this point. I actually want to get back on my No Man's Sky grind. I'm not gonna lie. I want to get back into that game.
True.
It's fun. But
True.
oh, there we go. Okay. But yeah. This I don't really have a really big opinion on this. I just think that Sony's being a little baby about it. Just like why are you throwing a tantrum when you have how many console exclusives does the PlayStation have between the 4 and 5?
Pretty decent.
If I had to
Wow, I didn't
completely
mean to get stuck like
spitball
that.
Jack
here,
and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, God of War, Infamous.
Yeah, and these
I
are
don't
amazing
know. That
games.
was
Ghost of
just off the
Tsushima,
dome. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
yep.
Ghost of Tsushima,
Yeah, and these are great games. I mean,
Wolverine
good for
pretty
them.
soon.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
the
it's
games
just
are great. I
like
mean, good for them. It's just you can have yours, and we're not expected to bitch. We can't bitch about it because you have your exclusives and we have our exclusives. And you've been saying for years how our exclusive fucking suck now. Like Halo is not doing what Halo used to do. The only one we got is Gears, and we can't even pick up another one without them being mad.
yeah. Which speaking of which, I wonder if they're going to make another Gears game.
I think they're just mad specifically because Xbox is doing decent. Because I think that if Redfall came out and it was trash, PlayStation would definitely say they didn't want it in the first place.
Yeah. Basically, it's just them being spoiled children. Like it is what it is. Like I personally just don't really care all too much about them
Yeah.
bitching and moaning about but we wanted Redfall 2. You guys weren't gonna.
Yeah.
Now to be fair, I will give them that Microsoft did say that they weren't gonna pull like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But I don't know about other titles. Did they say anything about pulling did they say that they weren't going to make any other games console exclusives or games console exclusive
I
to
think they
Xbox in
have
general?
mentioned. I think they've mentioned that they will have their specifics that they will have.
They've they've kind of been leaning that a lot of the big hitters at ZeniMax, like Elder Scrolls, Fallout, things like that, are going to stay exclusive to Xbox just for like purposes of having a console pusher,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which I kind of understand. But beyond that, I don't think they've gotten too
Okay.
into the weeds with like the smaller stuff.
Okay. Because in that case, I mean, how many console exclusives does Xbox realistically have that people give a shit about these days?
I'd say Gears.
Gears
Halo,
is
Gears.
Halo and Gears are pretty
And
much the only ones,
I
no?
was gonna say it was Halo, but I don't know anymore.
Halo's kind of like a toss-up because
Well, as a whole, I
as
would
a
say
As a
whole,
whole,
it's
we
yes.
enough to keep it
wish the
going
best for
anymore.
Halo. It's just where we're at right now. Nobody's asking for it right now. If
No.
anything, they're asking of better from the
Right.
studio.
Yeah. But
Right.
like Gears and Halo are really the only console pushers that Xbox has had in like probably the last decade, I'd argue.
Yeah.
They could have
Gears
had
is definitely.
Scalebound, but they canceled that, and we don't even know how popular that game would have been, even
Well,
if it had been
Platinum
released.
canceled Scalebound. It
Yeah.
would have been fucking Leviathan, dude. Scalebound
So,
was set to do what people were expecting Fable to do.
oh,
Yeah.
goddamn.
I guess there is
I guess
Fable, but like
Fable
you said,
technically is one too, but they haven't made a new Fable in like what, a decade?
but I
They've
feel
been
like the community that
supposedly
was.
working on one for like 7 years
I
now.
did
Yeah.
hear snippet. I think we talked about that not too long ago on the podcast as
We
well.
did.
People are excited. It's just from what I know of the community, it's like it's a toss up of whether or not they're excited because some don't like Fable 3, and I liked Fable 3,
I
but
liked it.
other people,
I played
a
through the
lot of
game like 3 different times, I'm pretty sure.
it feels very 50-50 about Fable 3. So
Yeah.
it sounds like it's like I'm excited for Fable 4, but what they did with Fable 3 makes me worried type shit.
Yeah. A lot of the more hardcore fans got upset about Fable 3. I don't remember what the specific criticisms were, but they were not happy. I remember that much. But yeah, so all in all, PS4 being crybabies, just let it be. You guys got your console exclusives. Xbox
Yeah,
needs a
it's,
couple more to be console pushers. It is what
yeah.
it is.
Back when the Xbox One came out, PlayStation was quiet because Xbox was already getting the amount of shit that they've heard in a long time. But now that Xbox is getting praises, I think it's like, okay, well now we have to put them down. That's what it feels like, at least.
Yeah. So
Mm.
honestly, that's all I have to say on it. Do you guys have anything more?
I'll buy any console where I can play The Binding of Isaac.
That's fair. This man has a Switch, fucking Steam Deck, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox One X.
You look at any fucking game that I have put the most time into on any of those platforms, and I guarantee you Isaac's in top 5
Yep, exactly.
on all of them.
God
Yep.
damn.
So,
Grind never
yeah.
stops.
Moving on to the next article. So for people that don't know, I'm sure that there aren't a lot of like gamer kids that haven't heard the unfortunate news. But Lance Riddick, the voice actor for Commander Zavala and so much more, he unfortunately passed away, I believe, early last week, I believe.
Yeah.
So, according to Bungie, Bungie has confirmed that Destiny 2 players can expect new performances from the late Lance Riddick in the future following the news of his passing at the age of 60. In a recent blog post detailing his week in Destiny 2, the developer addressed the tragic passing of Lance, who portrayed Commander Zavala in the game and spoke about his impact on the Destiny community throughout the years he played the character. Quote, on Friday, we all learned of the tragic news of Lance Riddick's passing at the age of 60, Bungie said, as the voice of Commander Zavala, the stalwart commander of the Vanguard, Lance brought to life a character who has become virtually synonymous with Destiny itself. For nearly a decade, Guardians around the world have found purpose and comfort in Zavala's presence, bolstered by that unmistakable voice so full of strength, serenity, and nobility. Bungie also acknowledged the tributes from fans over the past few days, which still continue in the game and across social media, saying as an actor, musician, gamer, and family man, the passion Lance brought to the things he loved was reflected in the eyes and hearts of all who loved him. The developer that said it will continue to honor Reddick's presence in the game, quote, through his performances yet to come in the game and in the memories that will last us a lifetime. In the meantime, it has added the message pictured above that you guys can actually see on the screen right now. Um, let's see here. Following release of the new patch, quote, we are deeply saddened by his passing, but so thankful for the time we spent together, and our thoughts are with his family and loved ones, or friends and loved ones, sorry. Bungie added, thank you for everything, Lance, we will miss you. Lance Reddick was best known for his role in the hit HBO series Wire as Cedric Daniels. Over the course of his career, Reddick also starred in the John Wick franchise, the TV series Lost, and a number of blockbuster films like Godzilla vs. Kong. On top of playing a key role in Destiny, like we just talked about, he was also known for his appearance in the Horizon games and Quantum Break. So, it looks like they already pre-recorded either most, if not all, of his lines for, I'm assuming, the last DLC, as well as like whatever voice lines he might have in the seasonal patches or whatever, the battle pass seasons. But yeah, I was actually not expecting to hear that news. It kind of just came out of nowhere,
Yeah,
especially at 60. That's really fucking young nowadays.
yeah, it was. I don't think they released specifically what it was, but they said he had something. Um, yeah, it was crazy. Like, I'll fucking sit around and dunk on Destiny whenever I feel like it, and that's fine, because whatever. But, like, that dude, you talk about a guy that gave a shit about what he was fucking doing. Like,
Oh yeah,
people went on and found, they were able to track down his, like, username in Destiny. And that fucker was playing the game nonstop. Like, they found him playing that up until the day before he passed away.
are you serious?
So, like, yeah, they went in, like, he was as diehard a fan of any project that I've ever seen anyone also be in. Like, I don't know. It's weird to see someone that's like, because
That
you imagine, like, if you're working on it like that, the last thing you want to do is go
is
home
be
and fucking
reminded by it.
look at it again.
Yeah.
But, like, nah, that guy fucking loved what he did for that game and that community.
God damn, I was not
On
expecting
top
that.
of everything else that he did. And it was just, I don't know. He was always a real one to me. But
Mm.
yeah.
What about you, Philip? What are your thoughts?
I love voice actors in games. He had a great
Oh
voice.
yeah,
This
these.
motherfucker.
I
I
love it
like
when
voice
characters in video
actors.
games talk.
I love it.
I think I don't know them too well, but I have a great respect for a lot of video game voice actors because what they do is I feel 10 times more difficult than actually acting because you don't really get to see that shit. You just kind of have to see that it says on the paper, it says, "Oh, you're stressed? Oh, I got to act stressed." And that sounds terrible.
It's almost like it. I would actually agree with you just because it's different in acting versus like as an actor like as a regular actor you just have to connect with the character on the script. Voice acting is you have to picture the person, you have to encompass them, and then you have to make the right facial expressions to match that and hope that the animator does well as well.
For real. And when you just have an iconic voice, you have an iconic voice. Like it is I mean, everybody knows the man's voice.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Good
But
in.
I just think it's even more remarkable because they don't remember you because of your looks like somebody else where you don't even have to be that good of an actor. You just look good. He like his one job is voice, and that's the one thing he's being critiqued on, and everybody loves it. That sounds difficult to have all eyes on you, and there's no possible way you can make a mistake without people seeing it.
Yeah, I agree. But
So,
yeah,
R.I.P. the real one.
that's what I'm saying. I can guarantee you
Good
that
in. Rest
like if you
in
I
shit
can
in
almost
my
guarantee you if I
pants.
loaded up Destiny 2 right now, I guarantee you I'd just see a shit ton of people just like either doing some sort of fucking emote constantly or like just constantly putting a copy paste message in the fucking things with something along the lines of like rest in peace Lance Riddick or something. Something like that.
Probably.
Yeah. So he will definitely be a gem that will be missed. Yeah,
Yes,
I just
Go
hope
see
that they
John
don't do
Wick
us.
4.
Yeah, I actually want to go see that tomorrow.
I do want to see that movie.
I can go. Do you want to go see it after you get off work?
Maybe,
Maybe.
perhaps.
Come on, man. It's
It
John Wick.
it sounds pretty nice to be honest.
Be a nice break from your fucking 5 in the morning having to get up ass. having to
That's
stay
fair.
at work until like fucking 3.
That's fair. I do that.
Just
It
saying.
would be a nice movie to see. I love Keanu Reeves. He's great man.
Yeah. At least publicly, he hasn't been a fucking jackass. So
There was a recent video of people having a video of him helping the production crew carry their equipment up to wherever they're going.
listen, if he's doing this all for publicity, he's doing one hell of a fucking job. Let me tell you.
No, I don't feel like you commit to the bit for that long. If
I
you
don't
No,
really
know,
he doesn't.
man.
there.
He rides the
At some point,
subway.
someone would catch you falling through the crack.
That's fair.
He rides the subway. He's so public. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think there'd be something, but it's nothing but the most beautiful acts of service you'll see. You're just like, damn, this man doesn't even have to help the production crew because it's not even his job. He's just being a nice dude.
Yeah,
You're like, you know
that's
what?
fair.
That shit kind of look heavy.
Yeah. So, support your boy Lance. Buy Lightfall and go
Hang
see
on
John
now.
Wick 4.
Hang on. Like it was a pretty moment. Don't ruin it.
Definitely
I
go see
agree.
John Wick 4 though. The movies are
Oh
fire.
yeah. No, that one I'm 100%.
The movies are fire. Don't jump the gun on Lightfall though. I was kidding about that. Moving on to the next one. Let's talk about taxes, Carter. Why don't you tell us about Tax Heaven 3000?
Hell yeah, dude. Um, hey gamers, I've got a question for you. Do you like incel culture and also filing your taxes with a big tit anime waifu girl? Cause boy, do I have news for you. That game is no longer available, but it was when I found this article. Uh, tax, tax Heaven 3000. Tax Heaven 3000 has you romance a girl named Iris who wants nothing more than to help you discover tax breaks. Um,
I love
there
her
is a
already.
game made, yeah, there is a game made by developers MSCHF, who are a
That's a fucking
Brooklyn-based
word and a
art
half.
company that made the game Chair Simulator, the Little Nas X Satan Shoes, and the giant Astro. Apparently, they made Astro Boy, but I remember the other two things. Is making a visual novel that claims it will help players file their tax returns by going on a date with Iris, a pink-haired girl with a quote disconcerting affinity for your personal finance information end quote. Iris will help you sort out your 1040 US individual income tax return. Check the eligibility for your Earned Income Tax Credit and American Opportunity Credit, and more.
Doesn't sound too
Um,
bad.
All right, no,
like most
Philip's down
visual
bad, and he needs
novels,
to do his taxes,
yeah,
so this sounds right up his alley.
I
no
just did my
shit.
taxes yesterday.
He bought the game.
Yeah,
Hell
little
yeah.
do you know, I already know about this.
I've been on 10 dates with
And I'll
Iris.
have you know, she genuinely does care.
Have you know
It
I
was
loaded my
weird.
back taxes so I can use her again next year.
It was weird when she asked me at first. But as soon as we had a conversation about it, I understood where she was coming from.
I don't know what a 1099R is, but goddamn if it was hot when she was telling me about it.
Holy shit. This is great. It's just a giant ass troll company, and I love it.
So, like most visual novels, Tax Heaven 3000 lets you go on a myriad of dates with Iris where you get to know her better and one major act of trust. Tax Heaven 3000 asks you to take part in sharing your social security number with her. What better act of intimacy is there than sharing private information with another, albeit virtual person?
Oh my God, I do feel that.
The co-founder, Daniel Greenberg, of the gaming company developing this, said, quote, Intelligent players may question whether they should give their social security number to an attractive anime girl in a video game. The Tax Heaven 3000 application does not connect to the internet. In some sense, it is probably safer than most big box tax software. Iris doesn't kiss and tell. She wants to know your personal information to prepare you for tax season and your return, and nothing else.
It's the creepiest fucking ask. I'm just saying, your social
If
security.
you have a bone to pick with online tax filing corporations like TurboTax, who will charge you extra to find more deductions and speak with an expert, you'll get along swimmingly with Iris because her creators air out their animosity against confusing forms and, quote, parasitic bottlenecks that deliberately complicate the tax filing process, end quote, on the website's manifesto tab. Okay, hang on. I'm going to pause for a second. Regardless of what the context of a game is or the information or data that it takes from you while you are playing it, if you ever fucking go to their website and there is a dedicated manifesto tab, throw your fucking computer away. You are on a watch list. Not just like a horny e-boy I'm on Reddit incel fucking watch list. Like, they are going to SWAT your house.
It'd be like that sometimes.
No, only if you play this game.
Okay, well, to be fair, I played the game, so it'd be like that sometimes.
Jesus.
The company continues on saying, quote, most wealthy countries make tax filing free if the burden of preparation is even passed along to individuals at all. But corporate tax filing services are, by dint of extensive lobbying, predatory, parasitic bottlenecks that deliberately complicate the tax filing process in order to make it unnavigable by ordinary people. The villainous corporation that controls the government from the shadow is a sadly mundane reality, the most boring industry imaginable. Video games are, at the end of the day, pieces of software ontologically akin to Microsoft Word. Tax Heaven 3000 simply makes the fiction the point. For some reason, the game to real-life interface has tended to remain the pure view of corporate metaverse fictions. Tax Heaven 3000 is a dongle that adapts from a visual novel to the IRS. End quote.
All right.
It's also worth noting that there is a collector's edition of Tax Heaven 3000, which comes in one of those software boxes from ye olde aughts with a retro installation disc and a body pillow of Iris.
That does sound pretty
Of
decent.
course, it comes with a fucking body pillow.
It sounds kind of decent.
There is also a link to an X-rated patch on the official website that links to a Wattpad post called The Bofa Encounter.
Yeah, yep, that one.
If you were wanting to wishlist Tax Heaven 3000 on Steam, the visual novel has been delisted from the storefront. Yesterday, as of the writing of this article, around 5:25 p.m. EST, Tax Heaven 3000's entire Steam page was removed, according to SteamDB.
I would have loved it if, like, in reality, all she did was like commit tax fraud for you. That would have been. If then I would have been like, yeah, you should have kept the game up.
God. Tax Heaven 3000 is still set to release on April 4th for PC, giving you just enough time to file your taxes before the April 15th deadline and delineate how you will be allocating your refund with Iris. First and foremost, I realize that the last 5 minutes of me talking sounded like I was reading an Onion article.
It was.
This is a very real program. It's a very real game. Not even a game at this point. It's software. I don't know what to call this. There is no differentiating factor. Should you choose to do this, like I said, it is available on their website. There's a link to like itch.io. Like there's still legal means to go out and play this. It was just removed from the Steam store at this as of right now. Please use the utmost fucking caution. I don't care how big her boobs are. This woman is not a licensed tax professional, and I would be very concerned, regardless of what the company is telling you, with anything like that.
Yes.
Like,
Big ass
please
fucking
approach that at your own discretion. I
mile-
personally do not
Provided a
condone.
certificate.
Mile-wide fucking disclaimer. We do not recommend you buy this game
Or
and you
condone.
put your social security number in there. Disclaimer.
I don't see the issue.
Shut up, Philip.
So
There are plenty of other borderline porn games you can get on Steam, okay? You don't have to
the point of this
Sorry.
article is God has left.
Yes.
God has left us on red, and boy is he switched into an android right now. Like, fucking hell, dude.
That's fair.
It's
I
not fair.
I fucks with it.
Fucks with it.
Oh god.
So anyway, any closing thoughts on fucking Tax Heaven 3000, boys?
It's a great meme, but once again, no one on this podcast recommends
It's
you
not
use
even a
this
meme.
fucking thing to file your taxes. I don't care them publicly stating, no, we won't steal your information and all this other shit. I don't care. I don't care. It's not safe. You have no fucking idea what they plan on doing with that information at the end of the day. Just go to a tax professional and do it. That's it. That's all I got to
Or
say
do them
about it.
yourself.
Or
It's
do them
not that
yourself,
hard to
as
do 'em
long as you know
yourself.
what you're doing.
Taxes.
Use
Pay your taxes.
TurboTax, use fucking, I don't know, H&R Block's kind of iffy, but even though I use them,
Fuck a
they're still kind of
H&R
iffy.
Block.
Yeah. But yeah. But for shits and giggles and memes, if you guys do use this thing, just tell us in the Discord how that works out for you.
Yeah, if you do, against everything that we have just said in the last 10 minutes, if you do still say, fuck that, I'm gonna go try it out, come back and report, man.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah,
Like, let me know.
Do you get coochie if you get a good return?
Yeah, is it just like,
That's
I
the
don't
real
know, like, does
question.
she remove one layer of clothing for each independent that you file? Like, how does that work?
On
Or
God.
each dependent that you file, rather.
Also, what is this X-rated patch? That's
Yeah, that's what I really want.
X-rated patch on the official website. The Bofa encounter. I feel like it's just gonna hyperlink you to a dick pic or something. I'm not gonna lie. That's just automatically where I think it's gonna go to. But yeah. So, Tax Haven or Heaven 3000.
I'm
You
dead
know,
inside.
yeah. Just yeah. Just yeah.
True.
So I got a question for you, Philip. Have you ever
Nope.
heard of the TMNT or the Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yes,
Turtles
last
novel?
Ronin, they're getting the game.
Yeah.
Mans was on it.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't even. I've never read it, but I just know.
Yeah,
I
no,
know
I've
what
heard
happens.
enough to know that this fucking game will be hype. I know it.
This will be lit.
As long as they do it right. So, a very new and different style of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game is currently in development, an adaptation of The Last Ronin, the 2020 graphic novel that told a grim futuristic story of the Turtles. Like the comic, The Last Ronin video game adaptation will be a darker, more mature take on the typically colorful Ninja Turtles, according to Doug Rosen, Senior Vice President for Games and Emerging Media at Paramount Global, the rights holders for TMNT. In an interview with Polygon last week, Rosen likened the upcoming third-person action role-playing game to Sony's recent God of War titles and said it will be authentic to the story of the Last Ronin arc, which is set in a future where only one of the turtles has survived. While other TMNT games like last year's Shredder's Revenge are typically about playing as all four turtles, sometimes their allies Splinter, April O'Neil, and Casey Jones, The Last Ronin will be primarily a single-player game, though Rosen posted that other characters could be playable in flashback sequences. Similar to how the comic series plays out, the primary action is said to center on the only surviving turtle, which, if I remember correctly, it's the one that you wouldn't expect to be the last surviving one. The identity of that lone remaining Ninja Turtle was something of a mystery when the last Ronin comic series was announced. The arc story was built around a Ninja Turtle who wore a black mask and fought using all four Turtles' signature weapons, the Nunchaku, Sai, bow staff, and dual katanas. It wasn't until the final pages of the first issue of The Last Ronin where the lone surviving Turtle's identity was revealed to be Michelangelo. The remaining Turtles and Master Splinter have all been exterminated by the Foot Clan, leading Mike to seek justice for their deaths in a battle-ravaged New York City. Publisher IDW launched The Last Ronin in 2020 as a 5-issue miniseries. The arc was written by Kevin Eastman and based on an idea he first conceived with TMNT co-creator Peter Laird in the late 80s. Like the Last Ronin comic book series, the video game will target an older audience, just like the recent collab with Call of Duty that brings Shredder to Activision shooter franchise. Rosen said there are opportunities for multiple TMNT games aimed at both young and more mature age groups. That Paramount can take multiple approaches to the franchise and not dial back to make the game something it shouldn't be. What the hell? Oh. The Last Ronin video game adaptation is being developed by an unnamed studio and is likely a few years off from release, Rosen said, but like throwback beat-em-up Shredder's Revenge, developed by Tribute Games and .emu, the Cowabunga collection, developed by retro game collection experts Digital Eclipse, Rosen said they found the right partner to adapt the ambitious project into a AAA video game. Rosen said to expect more details on The Last Ronin and much more from TMNT in video games in the coming months and years. In the near term, fans of the Ninja Turtles will soon see the heroes in a half shell showing up in Roblox and a new game set for release alongside TMNT Mutant Mayhem, a new animated feature film.
I just want the game. That's it. I don't care.
Yeah, that's because from what I've seen off of YouTube shorts and stuff, that comic book miniseries is fucking dope.
I haven't seen anything. I just know about it, and I'm like, man, I want to.
Yeah, no, it's fucking amazing. It's fire. I have heard nothing but good things about that miniseries.
My favorite thing in the world is when like series and franchises targeted at like children or like a very specific age demographic just go full blown edgy for no fucking reason. I think this looks kind of cool. If you want another equally edgy series that has no reason to be, please look up the post-apocalyptic Scooby-Doo comic book series.
That's a thing?
It is exactly what it sounds like, and it's fucking glorious, and it shouldn't be, but it's so unironically awesome. I don't remember what the exact name is, but it's the same vein where like all but like one or two of the main cast are dead, and you're just watching the rest of them fight for their fucking lives.
Jesus Christ.
It's amazing.
Wasn't expecting Scooby-Doo to get one of those, in all honesty, but, you know, here we are.
That's why it's so funny.
It's pretty ha-ha. But yeah, we have that to look forward to, so hopefully we'll get some information later down the line in the year. Yeah. Got anything else to say about it, guys?
I don't think so. I'm ready for the game. I'm excited to hear something from it. I mean, just so I can at least see some shit with my own eyes.
True.
That's really about it. I just want to see it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will reserve my opinions until I see some gameplay or something.
Valid.
Beautiful. Alrighty then. Moving on to the next one. Carter, why don't you tell us about what Ubisoft is making to write its games?
Robots are coming. Ubisoft, that team that already has awesome writing skills and writes all kinds of cool games, like, and also have developed a new AI tool to help narrative designers write barks.
Right? What?
Barks are lines spoken by NPCs after a trigger event, such as a change in environment or the character's interaction that help bring the game to life. So, in other words, like they're using this robot to help it write characters react in game to like what you're doing.
Okay.
So, like in Call of Duty, when you shoot a man and they go, "Wow, you shot a man," like stuff like that.
Right.
They're using an AI to help write those,
Okay.
or rather, building one. What it will do is writers will create a character, then input an event or situation for the character to experience. This tool will then generate different variations of a bark depending on the mode selected. Writers can edit further, and the ghostwriter also learns from each selected line that the writers accept. Ghostwriter was created with, this is a quote from one of the creators of it. Ghostwriter was created hand in hand with the narrative team to help them complete a repetitive task more quickly and effectively, giving them more time and freedom to work on games' narrative, characters, and cutscenes.
Interesting.
What do y'all think of that?
I mean, it wasn't as meme worthy as I thought because I just read the headline and I figured that they were just getting lazy and just having an AI make their actual screen scripts for the games.
No, not quite yet.
No. But in this case, I can't blame them. It makes it so there's not just like a set amount of lines that an NPC or AI is going to say, and to the point where they just start repeating themselves if this works correctly. Because if I'm understanding this correctly, the AI will dynamically change it based off of what happens near them.
Right, but it's all a script, and then it would be on them to put that in the game. Like, so far, what I'm gauging from what they've said is that it's strictly going to be them saying, "Hey, I wrote this script for you to give to a voice actor to read."
Okay.
Oh,
Like
okay.
literally just writing part of a script for
Okay,
them.
okay, I understand then. Okay,
It's
never mind.
not going in. It's not like they're gonna implement it and use like an AI voice to go in and do all of
Okay,
that for
okay.
them.
Okay, then I was interpreting it wrong then. Okay. So in that case, I don't really know because I'm used to NPCs having either repetitive or boring ass fucking lines to randomly say, especially in open world games. So I guess I can't really expect it to change all too much unless it somehow makes it worse.
Fair.
Um, I can't
You
really
got one of
see.
the vagina crystals.
Yeah,
Power grew stronger.
beautiful. So I guess I'm curious to see how much it changes their workflow. I guess because it sounds like they're basically trying to use this to auto draft lines for NPCs while they work on the actual like main cast of characters and like either adversaries in the game or antagonists or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, if it helps them do their job better, sure, I have no problem with it. But
Take your coochie coin and go. Sorry, I'm just trying out some voice lines. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I get why they're doing it. It's fine. I'm just, yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of seeing this and wondering at what point studios will develop something similar for bigger stuff than writing isolated scenarios that are nothing more than just a reaction to you pushing a button in a world. Like, at what point are they gonna get the fucking people to just say, "Hey, you take too long writing Call of Duty, work on the games, and we're just gonna write the script." Ta-da! You know,
true.
like it's gonna be an interesting slope to what they do with.
That's fair. What do you think, Philip?
I kind of agree with you. I kind of just hope that it lets them focus on the main cast of characters a little bit more. If it could cut a little bit of time and still be as efficient. I mean, AI is pretty crazy sometimes, but I
Hmm.
don't. You said they're gonna just. It's just a script, right? Someone still got to read it.
Yeah,
But
no, like currently it's just them writing lines of dialogue for the voice actors to read.
look, man, let me get. I've been seeing so many clips of fucking Joe Rogan saying some random ass shit on TikTok. I want to see an AI
Sure.
generated argument of the most trivial shit. A random computer down the block is arguing with somebody.
Okay. I want to hear Ezio Auditore weigh the pros and cons of getting Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I enjoy the videos that Kane and Julio put in the fucking Discord of Biden, Trump, and Obama playing Call of Duty or fucking
Oh
Fortnite
yeah,
or
they're great.
Overwatch.
Dude, the
Man,
Presidential Zomboys is one of my favorite series on YouTube.
I seen one of Joe Rogan and what is it, Ben Shapiro, and he's like, "Man, I just saw this shrimp fry rice," and he's like,
It's
that's physically impossible,
not
right?"
scientifically possible.
And then Joe Rogan's like, "Look,
Oh,
man, I don't know. I just know that I seen it." They even made him his own little. He's like, he can't even hold a spatch. That spatch is way too big for him. He's like, they didn't give him a normal spatch. They built him a new one. They call it the shrimp spatch. I love the end because
and
he's
then
like,
it
we can
turns
go
out it
see
was
it, and it's like
real.
1 hour later, and then Ben Shapiro's like, oh fuck, and there's the fucking.
Oh my god, it's real. Come on.
Have you ever been to the beach that makes you old?
There's no
It's
such thing
great.
as a beach that makes you old.
Yeah, I need
It's
that
entirely
in video
impossible. It's
games. If
illogical.
if AI can do that for me, or even hire people to read off the random scripts that the AI can
Oh, dude.
formulate,
Uh, Telltale
amazing.
Games presents Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan, The Beach That Makes You Old. A
That'd be so
seven-part series.
amazing. It'd be so great.
Yeah,
I'd be a happy man.
agreed, agreed. But yeah. So I'm curious to see how much it actually affects their workload and see if it actually improves the overall quality of the game. So
That's fair.
only time will
One can
tell.
hope. One can hope.
Yeah. Moving on to the next article. So apparently Xbox is finally starting to listen to people when they say they are tired of fucking live service. So because apparently it recently became clear that Xbox and Arcane's upcoming shooter Redfall would require an always online internet connection. This isn't great for a host of reasons, and people, predictably and understandably, cried foul, launching a barrage of complaints. Now it seems Arcane has heard the backlash and is planning to ditch the game's controversial always online requirement. Um Let's see. In an interview with Eurogamer, Redfall game director Harvey Smith explained that Arcane and his studio listen to players and have a lot of empathy for folks who don't have consistent internet connections. Quote, we do take complaints about always online with a lot of empathy, Smith explained. We listened and we have already started to work to address this in the future. We have to do some things like encrypt your save games and do a bunch of UI work to support it, and so we are looking into. I'm not supposed to promise anything, but we're looking into and working and actively toward fixing that in the future. Smith suggests that devs have two ways to react to these complaints: listen and try to fix things, or point out that everything else is always online. Um, Devs could say, "Oh my God, you're always online. If you get on your Steam and it's not online, you freak out. If you get on your Xbox and you can't get the latest patch or see what your friends are doing, you freak out. You want to be always online, but that response, I think, lacks empathy." He further explained that he understands that some people live in places where internet outages are common or broadband is shitty. He also understands that some players are competing with their family members who might be streaming a movie or playing another game on a limited internet connection. Um, and then it looks like they went in to explain why it requires an active internet connection. So why even try to make the game always online in the first place? The obvious answer, and what is often the case in big games, is to sell players more products via in-game stores. But Smith says that wasn't the case with Redfall. Always online allows us to do some accessibility stuff. Smith said it allows us for telemetry, like if everybody's falling off ladders and dying, holy shit, that shows up, and so we can go and tweak the ladder code. There are reasons we set out to do that that are not insidious. Regardless of why Arcane was planning on making the game require a constant online connection, I'm happy to see a studio listen to fan feedback about an important issue and try to fix the situation instead of ignoring it, which I can agree. I'd rather
Yeah.
them try and come up with like a middle ground or a compromise versus them just say, fuck it, this is how it's going to be.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
So,
I can definitely understand that.
yeah. Honestly, I understand like live service being a benefit because, you know, like they said, it basically makes the game a lot easier to like hotfix or tweak or patch. But it's just like, I don't think every game that has four-player co-op or co-op in general or multiplayer elements needs to be live service all the time.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No. So, I think that's a good step in the direction. I am excited to see what kind of middle ground they come up with. What do you think, Carter?
Always online is dumb.
Elaborate.
Oh, I don't know. I just like I get it from like a co-op perspective or like what the main intent of the game is. Like yes, it needs to always be online or have that connection, but to then also offer the option to play with bots or solo kind of, in my opinion, washes away or is some of the reason people would not need that to be always online.
Hmm.
Because, like they said, like as adults, I can sit here and go, oh, my internet's good all the time. I can afford it. Just get better internet. But, like, that's not always the case, especially in, like, rural areas. There's a lot of families that can't afford to have internet, even with how much of a almost mandatory commodity that it seems to be anymore. Um, and then to ask them to have good enough internet to be able to play a video game is even more of an ask.
Yep.
And I think you're really putting a stranglehold on a lot of potential clients that you would have um, were you to put in a little extra elbow grease and give them something that they can play offline as well.
Fair.
Like especially for a PvE game.
Yeah. If it
I
was
I'm
PvP,
also kind
obviously
of
it'd be a different story. But
I
like,
also have reservations about the way a lot of modern devs balance PvE games, knowing full well that it's just supposed to be like a fun, not as serious thing as
yeah,
like PvP.
I don't want to have to try hard in every single thing that I do on my for my games. Now, if I'm doing some sort of challenge or
Sometimes I just want to
something,
blast some aliens with the homies.
or doing like a harder difficulty, that's a different story. Obviously, I'm going to take that a bit more seriously. But it's just like I don't want to feel like I'm playing something the equivalent of like a fucking League of Legends ranked match
Yeah,
every time I load up a game that's meant to just play with friends and just have a good time.
yeah. Well, I think that was a lot of people, like with Borderlands 3 as an example, and I know I dog on this game a lot, but like part of the problem people had with that game out of the gate is for like the first 9 months, they just did balance patch after balance patch after balance patch. And it's like the point of this game is to be a wacky, over the top, see what crazy gun I get that does what crazy thing.
Yeah,
Like
and
I
do
shouldn't
crazy
have to be
amounts of
that
damage.
worried about you fucking ruining this
Yeah,
in 2 weeks. And that's what they ended up doing half the time. They would sit there, wait and see what the most popular build was, or what everyone would be like, oh, okay, by virtue of it being a popular thing, it's overpowered, so we're going to nerf this aspect of it until people want to play a new build. Like you're not incentivizing experimentation, you're incentivizing them to not want to play your game
yeah,
because why grind for something that you're going to nerf into the ground and
True.
true. But what do you think,
I don't.
Philip?
I don't think it needs to be mandatory. I think it's. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see a good reason for it. I don't understand it. Um. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
really understand it. I feel like you're gatekeeping.
yeah. I wouldn't even say
I
that. It's
think
just like
fucking
you're policing and moderating a game that literally doesn't affect any player that actively loads into the game. It only affects NPCs that you're supposed to be building up to being able to one-shot anyways.
right.
Like
Here's
that's the
what I
whole point
will
of it.
I
say.
hate that
That
fucking.
I will say that the other side of the argument would probably be someone saying, well, if you can't afford good internet, then you shouldn't be playing games. I argue a more humanitarian where it's like I think this makes people less angry about their lives, so we should not make it difficult on them to
yeah,
have a good
there
time.
shouldn't be a price, or a minimal price like tier for you to be able to actively enjoy the games that you spent your money working a lot just to be able to afford.
Right.
How about you just let me stick on my very affordable rural internet that more than likely I don't have any other ISP because I live out in the middle of nowhere or I live on a farm or something like that, and just let me
Mhm.
play the game in peace. It's just that simple.
Right. Just let me play the game in
Exactly.
peace. I already paid money for it. I shouldn't have to have more requirements.
Yeah. It's just like how Amber just said. It's very classist. It's just like it doesn't really apply to this. It doesn't need to apply this to this situation. Because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, the moment you start saying, well, if companies start saying that shit, it's just like, okay, well then why would I buy your game then? If you're gonna require me to have internet and have a certain tier of internet to be able to even play it, why the fuck would I spend $60, $70 on it in the first place?
Fair.
I'd rather just play No Man's Sky or fucking one of my Digimon games or play Star Wars or some shit like that offline and then call it a
Sky is
day.
always online.
Is it really? I thought you
Yes.
could play offline.
No, how the fuck do you think they have that many billions of planets generating at once?
Oh, that's fair.
It's all server hosted, my guy.
All right, fair enough. But nonetheless, my point still
For a
stands.
simple patch, it
I'd rather just play one of the up-teen fucking single-player Steam games that I have and call it a day.
yeah. For a simple
Like Binding
patch,
of
I really
Isaac.
don't think it's just a terrible reason to be like, well, we might have to patch something. I don't think most people give a fuck if they just want to play offline.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
short of
want
it
to
being a gamed crashing
Yeah,
thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
if it's a game breaker,
I'm gonna just
that
return that bitch.
Yeah, fuck
yeah,
this.
don't get mad at me if I return the motherfucker.
Just like, yeah,
I'm
you can say that, oh, well, was it live service, so we couldn't live patch it. Okay, well, make sure your fucking game works day one.
right.
Yeah, ship it complete.
You know, I know that's a hard bar to be held nowadays, but Jesus Christ, my guy. So, but yeah, that's the end of my rant. So, you guys got anything else? Like on that subject, anyways.
No,
No.
Okay,
nope.
Always online is stupid.
It's
agreed.
stupid. Can't justify it.
Yes. Moving on to the next one. Carter, why don't you tell us about Crash Team Rumble? What is this? Is this the next Smash Brothers killer?
Fuck no. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think we need to
That
talk
was
about
all
this.
I had to say.
Can we can we not talk about this?
Oh my
No, we
god.
can. We are going
No,
to as
we
well.
can. We can
First
talk
of
about it.
all,
I'm actually kind of looking forward to it a little bit.
if you're already gonna
Okay.
have me pre-order, I don't know if I wanna.
Hang on. Hang on.
Yeah, you tell them, Phil. Tell them how you really feel.
Oh shit. So yeah, earlier, I think back in like December during the Game Awards, they unveiled Crash Team Rumble, which is, from what I can understand, it kind of looks like a modern adaptation of like Crash Bash. It's like a tournament style like party co-opetition game in like the same vein as Fall Guys or something. Like I don't know. There's a lot of modern games to compare it to, but
All
as
guys
far
are
as
like
like
Mario Party.
yeah, but as far as like the Crash series goes, I would equate it closest to Crash Bash. Um, they have announced that it is coming out on June. Is there an exact date yet? Sometime in June. Um, and you can pre-order it now to get into the closed beta that will take place from April 20th to April 24th.
Ooh.
Fair.
They have announced this will be available on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, as well as Xbox One for $30 standard edition or a $40 deluxe edition.
$30 is crazy. I don't know, dog.
The standard edition will grant players access to post-launch seasonal content, limited time modes, and the Season 1 Battle Pass, while the deluxe edition will bring 21 battle tiers during Season 1. Oh, okay, so it will give you the Season 1 Battle Pass, have 23 tiers of it unlocked, also give you the Season 2 Battle Pass when it comes out, and it will have the Proto Pack, which has various cosmetics and other items. It will also be fully cross-platform.
Ooh.
Mm,
So,
um,
I don't know. I think games like this look kind of unique. I feel like Fall Guys kind of has the cornerstone on like silly, family-friendly like multiplayer games.
That somehow
yeah.
people still manage to break their keyboards and monitors over.
Right. Well, people are always going to sweat, but I don't know. I think it's cool to kind of see the modernization, like the revival of Crash we've had the last 5 or 6 years,
Oh
I
yeah.
guess, but
has actually been really good instead of going back to the games that made them have to fucking stop making them for almost a decade.
mm, yeah, I watched it. It just looks like a party game. I mean,
I'm all for party games. Like we were talking about earlier, it's just like I'm not trying to have to constantly sweat and try hard at every game I play. I want to be able to sit back and
It's
relax every
just
now and again.
as long as
fair.
they do not make it as much fucking like insanely difficult game as Crash Bandicoot 4 was. Um Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is probably one of the most insane 100% games I have ever seen. And you should absolutely not do it unless you do not value your own mental health.
Fair enough.
Like, I shit you not. Like, go on YouTube. There are fucking hour-and-a-half long video essays about people who did 100% that game that are lifelong Crash Bandicoot fans that tell you you are a fucking idiot if you try and do it too. It
Fair
is
enough.
absolutely batshit the amount of shit that they force you to fucking go through.
Oh my.
Mm, I love Crash Bandicoot. I don't know. I'm on the fence, and I don't know if I can really give you a logical reason. I just, I really don't stick around party games that much.
I mean, I have Fall Guys still simply because, I already had it in
Every,
my library.
right, and every once in a while we'll play it,
It's free.
and it's free. And not only that, I already like I have the party game. Like if I don't know if I want to buy another one. Like this
Yeah.
thing's got to blow fucking Fall Guys out the water if I want to convince all my friends to buy this.
Mhm.
You know what did blow Fall Guys out of the water? That's like $10 cheaper than this Crash game.
What?
There was, I don't remember, Kirby's Dream Buffet course on Switch last year. It came out of nowhere. It was just a ghost drop, and it's just like a bunch of like obstacle course mini games in the same vein as Fall Guys, but it is such a cool little fucking celebration of Kirby,
That's
and
fair.
it's really cute and charming and super challenging once you get to like the higher
That's fair. That's fair.
levels and difficulties. It's really cool.
Ooh. But yeah, hopefully the game's good. I don't know. I'm on the fence, but I could be wrong. There's just something that I watched the trailer and I don't know. I don't know. I feel uncomfortable about this.
Like, what makes you uncomfortable about it? Just like like you're just
I don't know.
indecisive on
I
whether or
don't
not
know.
you're interested.
I'm looking at it and I don't know. I feel like it's not it's not for the sake of Crash Bandicoot. That's I look at it and that's just all I feel.
Interesting. Okay.
'Cause
What
I've had
about you,
some
Carter? You
pretty.
gonna be keeping an eye on it?
I'll keep an eye on it. I mean, I like Crash, but especially if it's a multiplayer focused game developed by Activision, I want to make sure the support's there.
Fair enough. Alrighty.
Crash Team Racing, they pulled the plug after like a year.
That's unlucky.
I remember that really old Crash racing game where I could like tune up. I don't like build my car pretty much. I don't know. It's really
That
old. I
sounds
don't even remember
familiar.
the name of it.
Nitro Fuel?
Maybe?
Maybe.
No, not Nitro Fuel. That was the fucking remake. Nitro something.
Was it
I
just
don't
Nitro
remember. It was
Racing?
one of the PS2 games. I don't know. That or Crash Team Racing.
Because I think I
Crash
had one of
Team
those
Racing
games
was
for
a
my
little
PS2 as
different.
well.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was, but it was definitely one of them.
Okay. Let's see. Moving on to the next one. Let's talk about some Valve shit, shall we? So, Valve unexpectedly came out with a spicy announcement that Counter-Strike 2 is being released within the next few months. More specifically, it's slated for a summer launch. Counter-Strike 2 is coming this summer, Valve announced Wednesday, promising an overhaul to every system, every piece of content, and every part of the Counter-Strike experience. The announcement comes with 3 videos of Counter-Strike 2 in action, showing off newly updated maps, dynamic smoke grenades, and sub-tick updates, which Valve says offers even more precise server updates. A limited test is playable starting. What was this? It was on March 22nd, so it was available starting March 22nd, but I don't see an end time. It just says limited test, so I don't know how long. The article that I'm reading from, it'll be in the description. There will be a FAQ that Valve published on how to actually get into it. The new Counter-Strike will run on Valve's Source 2 engine. Valve calls it the largest technical leap forward in Counter-Strike's history, which isn't a lot because they've came out with like 2 games. In part, that means a visual overhaul for Counter-Strike's classic maps, some of which players have been battling on for 20 plus years. Those maps will be cleaner, brighter, and better. Valve says thanks to upgrades and overhauls which leverage all of the new Source 2 tools and rendering features. On the article, you guys will be able to look at Dust 2. It'll show like basically the revamp for it. Smoke grenades in Counter-Strike 2 are also getting a big overhaul. Plumes from smoke grenades are now dynamic volumetric objects that interact with the environment and they react to lighting, gunfire, and explosions, Valve says. In practice, that means players will be able to create holes in smoke grenades and even blow them away with frag grenade explosions. Finally, Valve promises to go beyond the 128 tick rate in other online multiplayer games. Valve calls it a new technology, sub-tick updates, characterizing them as the heart of Counter-Strike 2. Previously, the server only evaluated the world in discrete time intervals called ticks. Valve explained, thanks to Counter-Strike 2's sub-tick update architecture, servers know the exact instant that motion starts, a shot is fired, or a nade is thrown. As a result, regardless of tick rate, your moving and shooting will be equally responsive, and your grenades will always land the same way. There's also a video on how that is shown in live action. Counter-Strike 2 will be the 4th major release in Valve's first-person shooter series. The original game released in 2000 and it was based on a mod for Valve's Half-Life. Valve followed that with Counter-Strike Source in 2004 and Counter-Strike Go in 2012. More than 10 years after its initial release, CSGO remains incredibly popular. The free-to-play game is regularly the most played title on Steam. Earlier this month, CSGO hit an all-time concurrent player record with 1.4 million players. So,
Jesus.
yeah, that game is still the most top-notch fucking FPS on the planet. What do you guys think about that? Love it? Hate it? Gonna touch it? Just gonna fucking purge it? What's going on?
I've never played. Actually, I wouldn't say never. I've never played Counter-Strike for myself. I've played on a friend's account one time, and I was absolutely trash. I will say, you're probably not going to be good on the first round, anyways.
Yeah. Try
But
like
I
the
was
first
absolutely
100 to
trash.
150 hours, but
Yeah, yeah. I am down to give it a shot because it sounds all right. I seen the clip for the smoke grenades. That's actually kind of cool. But I feel like you guys take the game way too serious than I do. I don't know
I
if I
mean,
can
I
do it.
haven't played it
Yeah.
in. Let's see. If I look at my fucking Steam library, I can take a look see. When was the last time I touched this fucking game? The fuck is it?
6 hours ago. Whoopsies.
I haven't played in almost 2 years. So, back when I
I
was
haven't
playing it,
played in 10.
got him. When I was playing the game regularly, I sucked ass also. Did not rank up very high. So I can definitely say the game has a pretty steep learning curve. But it is fun. And I will more than likely be giving it a test run as well when it releases. So that's all I got to really say on it. What about you, Carter? You gonna give it a shot, man? I know you love FPSs.
Nope.
Come on, Carter. You're always telling us about how you love Call of Duty and you play the multiplayer all the time. I hear you playing ranked with Philip all the time.
Nope.
He's lying to you guys. He's
I don't
actually
know.
he's
I,
actually a
I am
professional
not.
FPS
Go
player.
check my Steam profile. Don't even know.
Carter's
Like,
goaded.
despite it being a free-to-play game, I don't know that CS:GO is in my Steam library.
Is it free to play?
Yeah, it's free to play now. They
Yeah.
made it free to
Oh,
play
now.
like a year or two ago.
Oh. I know they were asking me like the other week. They're like, "Do you have it?" I'm like, "I don't have it." And the
Well, now you don't
conversation
have
ended there.
an excuse. So
I don't know, any game where you build a community that goes, hey, let's spend my life savings on a camouflage skin for a knife. I fucking fear them on a fundamental level, and I think anybody that plays that game would have access to my IP address in 5 seconds if I went negative my first game.
I think you're overestimating the average CS:GO player, Carter.
I don't think I am.
This fucking guy, just paranoid beyond all belief. The worst they would do is just send a pizza to your house anyways.
Ooh.
It'll be
Joke's
fine.
on them. No one delivers to my house.
Damn, that's the sadness. How do you feel about that, Carter? Do you feel abandoned by your pizza joints?
No. I mean, I have a Casey's like 10 minutes away from my house, so.
Yeah, but that means that you have to drive 10 minutes instead of having them drive 10 minutes to
Yeah,
you.
and then I end up at Casey's.
Yeah.
Fucking love Casey's, dude. Dude, Casey's sponsored me.
This guy's just simping over you guys.
Like,
Just
you can pay me in breakfast pizza.
and $20 bills.
Nope, I don't need the money. Just give me pizza.
Jesus.
Breakfast pizza. And taco pizza. Because your taco pizza's gas.
True. I do like their taco
But
pizza.
let me have an option where I can put all of my toppings on the side and not just have them on the pizza so I don't have to fucking eat it all in one day and then I lose all the leftovers because the lettuce and the tomatoes get soggy and they don't reheat at all. So
I
let me
think
put them in a bag instead of on the pizza.
almost every time I go to Casey's, they usually do put my toppings on the side.
That's fucked, dude.
It sounds like your Casey's is just trolling you at this point. So,
Casey, sit me up. Let's talk about it.
Jesus. All right. Let's talk about some Spider-Man 2, Carter. Tell us all about it. What's going on with
Spider-Man
this?
2 is a 2004 film starring Tobey Maguire.
I hate that you knew that you released here.
Why wouldn't I know the release? Fucking neckbeard. I'm sorry. I don't know why I called you that. Spider-Man 2's coming out this year, and the press for it up to this point has been stunningly non-existent at all, despite it arguably being like the biggest game Sony has on deck this year. So instead, the only info we have about a release date comes from Tony Todd, who is the guy that's voice acting for Venom in this game, revealed on Twitter that the game will probably come out sometime in September, which is only marginally more informative than the last release date timeframe that we got was sometime this fall.
Beautiful.
Apparently they are saying massive publicity coming in August, commercials start dropping or so I'm told, followed by a release in September. So they're only doing like at the most, based on what they are telling us, at the most they are going to do like 3, maybe 5 weeks of promotion for this game. Which is wild to me. Like, I truly, thinking right now on the top of my head, I cannot think of any other giant, like, flagship PlayStation titles that are set to come out this year.
Ah!
My
Spider-Man's cool.
ears.
Spider-Man is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm hyped for this game. I've played the first Insomniac Spider-Man game to completion I don't know how many times. Like, platinum and all. I fucking love that game. But
God damn, you really do love
very
that game.
wild to me. Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Like, that man loves that game.
Yeah, it's great.
Alright, fair enough.
I would say it's probably the best like comic book superhero game we've gotten since the Arkham series.
True. I can agree with that.
Not even probably.
I can definitely agree with that. We just will ignore Marvel Avengers for the rest of our days.
That or maybe Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy I heard was pretty solid.
It's very good.
Good.
Plays a lot like
Oh,
Mass
I
Effect,
didn't even know.
but...
Sorry.
But yeah,
Piss
I don't
test.
know. I just think it's weird that we've got like, according to this, like 5 months before it comes out. And
I find
we
it
don't know
funny
anything
that the
about
voice actor fucking outed it.
Dude, if I know one thing about Spider-Man spoilers, it's that whoever you have on set playing Venom is gonna leak stuff before it comes out.
Bro.
Tom Hardy was like one of the first people to leak that they were coming back for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Damn.
Do indeed like that. Good times. Oh. Yeah,
We got
so
goddamn
Spider-Man
game,
2,
guys.
looking forward to it in September. Sounds like a good time. I still need to play through that the first one along with
Miles Morales.
there we go, Miles Morales. There we go.
Wow,
I
Isaiah doesn't
completely
like black
blanked.
people, guys.
Listen. You need to know. I actually still need to buy them to begin with. I haven't done that yet either.
You should have scooped them on Steam sale. They were like half off.
Damn. I really missed out then. God damn it. Alright, better luck next time. I'm sure I'll grab them during the summer sale or something. But yeah, so why don't we also talk about what's going on with this Persona port development process? Carter, you're the Persona guy here.
So, I believe it's been about 2 weeks at this point. The Persona team announced that they are doing a free-to-play mobile game that takes place in the world of Persona 5, called Persona 5X. There is almost nothing known about it except for the fact that you are like from the looks of it, you're like another exchange student that like meets up with Joker and the Phantom Thieves, and then it turns out, oh, you're also a Phantom Thief. Go do Persona 5 with us. Um, and it, I hate everything about it existing. Um, like I'm glad that it's finally getting the mainstream attention that it deserves as a franchise, but we've hit bad. We've hit bad. Um, but in that same interview that they did with the PR guy about that, they also asked him about just kind of the last year that the franchise has had, kind of talking about the porting process for Persona 5, Persona 4, and Persona 3 that came out late last year and early this year. And they've just kind of talked about how it's been really cool to see the older games still be in demand and yada yada yada. And then going off of that, they kind of talked about the future of the franchise. Um, and they kind of talk about the 2 points that I wanted to bring out. This were them going, hey, I'm sure there's a lot of Persona things that you can't divulge yet, but how will the series continue to grow in the future? Um, the developer says, we are working on various ways to bring the Persona series to a wider audience. I don't have any specifics at this time, but look forward to it. And then the other question was, are there any game genres you experiment with while using the world and characters of Persona? For those who aren't super familiar, in addition to like a main franchise game, especially with 5, there's also a number of spin-off games for that cast and crew of characters before they do the next game. Like Persona 4, we got like a fighting game, a dancing game, 2 little like old school 3DS dungeon crawler games, um, just all kinds of crazy spin-offs and shit. And they've basically said that in addition to the ones that they've already done for 5, like the Persona 5 Dancing, Persona 5 Strikers, which is like a Dynasty Warriors style game that's pretty good. They've said that they're going to continue to branch out with the styles and content that you would find in the Persona 5 spin off series, so to speak.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Persona.
So I was hoping at least one other Persona person would be in here so we could talk about what we would want to see in a spin-off from the
Unfortunately, I haven't
franchise.
played a
But
single one.
Yeah,
okay.
and
5
Kane's
is
either
really good.
asleep or at work, so unfortunately we can't ask him.
That's okay.
Oh wait, never mind. He's actually on right now. Here, let me tat him.
5 is really good.
Talk to Carter about Persona. Oh wait, no, they're watching a new Dragon Ball Super movie. I think.
Oh, rip.
Damn, I don't think he's going to now. Sadness.
There you go.
Never mind. Better luck next time.
But yeah, please look forward to more pandering, awful Persona spin-offs while they milk money for the next main game.
Damn.
God, I hope Persona 6 is good. I really do.
For
Like,
the
if they
love
just
of
rest
God,
on their fucking
please.
laurel, like, I am going to be more upset than I have ever been about a franchise selling out and getting popular if Persona is just gone after 5.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's gonna hurt.
Well, okay. Why don't you tell us like your top 3 things that you want to see in the next actual future release of the game? Not talking remaster. We're saying Persona 6. What are the top 3 features you want to see in the game?
Yeah. Um, I would like to see them go back to your social stats mattering beyond being an entry check for certain social links. So, um, for for the sake of conversation and easy to understandedness, um, Persona 5, on top of being a dungeon crawler, also very popular for its life sim aspect, in which you go and interact and build bonds and relationships with characters to do stuff that in turn helps you in battle as well as in the real world. Um, it's really cool. It adds a fuck ton of depth to characters just by virtue of being around them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in addition to that, there's also just like a really big story driven aspect to it. It's very much like a visual novel in between the gameplay segments with how it does storytelling. Um, in 3 and 4, there was this really cool aspect to it where so you have social stats in addition to all of your like RPG stats that you can use to like in Persona 5, they kind of stop it at, hey, you need to have your intelligence or your knowledge up to this rank before you can start this next conversation or this next part of the story arc with this character. Um, and that was kind of where it stopped there. But what I liked about 3 and 4 was that in addition to using them as kind of like skill check benchmarks, there would also be events in like the main script that based on the options that you or based on where your kind of social skills were at, you would have different answers that would potentially affect the story
I see.
based on your social stats. And there were times where on a first playthrough, you wouldn't be able to do, or you may not necessarily be a perfect thing because you didn't have your stats high enough. And it incentivizes like going back and playing New Game Plus with better stats. And I feel like a lot of that was kind of missing. I don't know, it didn't make it feel as personable of a main character to me. It would be really cool to see them reward you for doing stats beyond, hey, you can talk to this person again.
Yeah. Checkpoints is basically just like the level requirement on Valhalla just being a checkpoint, or like Odyssey being a checkpoint. Like, there's no purpose to it besides just saying, okay, well, you have to go grind XYZ for the next like fucking 10 hours, and so you can
Yeah,
actually
well,
play
that's
this
not to say
mission.
there wasn't a purpose to it. Like I was still invested enough in the characters.
Yeah, but you're still
Excuse
arguing
me.
though that it could be more than just like a simple like, because at the end of
Right.
the day,
Well,
that's like the main focus point is just to make you
not
grind a
even
certain
that
amount
it
of
could
hours.
be, that it used to be, and that there
Yes.
were multiple reasons to go in and do it.
Yes. Agreed.
I think there's maybe like 2 events in the like, and no, not even not including the endings. I think there's like 2 events in the main script, maybe 3, where you are locked into dialogue options based on your current stats.
I see.
And in 4, there was like a lot of them.
Oof. But well, I hope that your wishes come true, Kana. Because from what
Oh,
I've heard,
Connor.
Persona is a very, very good JRPG franchise, and I want to see it excel. Because that's always a good thing.
You called
So,
me Connor.
huh?
You called me Connor.
No, I did not.
You did.
I did not say
Hey,
Connor.
bad
Where
boy,
the
too
fuck would
bad
that
boy.
even come from?
That man boy
You
can't
tell
host a
me.
podcast, that boy.
I'm so confused. Carter. I'm pretty sure I said Carter, but we'll just leave it be. It's fine.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Moving
What's
on
the
to the
next
next.
article, Kane?
Yeah.
Man, boy, not screw that boy. I have not
Thanks,
played this map.
Boomhauer.
Um, let's talk about Twitch making a oopsie daisy, shall we?
It
Yeah,
makes
what
Um,
was their oopsie whoopsie fucky wucky oingo?
let's see here. So, Twitch announced that it has undergone a massive layoff with more than 400 employees losing their jobs. Along with this news, Twitch CEO and co-founder Emmett Shear has stepped down after 16 years. As explained in a recent blog post written by new Twitch CEO Dan Clancy, the company has let go of 400 people as a means to cut costs. User and revenue growth has not kept pace with our expectations, Clancy said. In order to run our business sustainably, we've made the very difficult decision to shrink the size of our workforce. This has come as part of a larger round of layoffs across Amazon, which owns Twitch. In total, Amazon suffered over 9,000 layoffs across all its divisions. Now, former Twitch CEO and co-founder Emmett Shear announces
Damn,
his
Isaiah don't care.
no, it's not even that. Announced his departure from the company on March 20th of this year. With my first child just born, I've been reflecting on my future with Twitch, Shear said. Twitch often feels to me like a child I've been raising as well, and while I will always want to be there if Twitch needs me, a 16 years old or 16-year-old, or at 16 years old, it feels to me Twitch has already moved out of the house and ventured alone. So it is with great poignancy that I share my decision to resign from Twitch as CEO. Twitch new CEO is Dan Clancy, who previously served as the company's president prior to Shear's departure. Twitch says it has big opportunities ahead to support streamers and their communities following the news of the layoffs, though it is unclear what this entails. And if I remember correctly, Twitch itself has has under 2,000 people. So at best, they just let go of like a quarter of their company. Just
Goddamn.
for reference. And that's at best,
Ruh-roh.
by the way. At best,
That's
they only
crazy.
got rid of 25%.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I don't know how the hell they plan on, coming up with bigger and better things when they just got rid of that many people. But I guess we'll see. I know I've been seeing a couple of ex Twitch streamers that have been saying that this is the beginning of the downfall of Twitch. So I guess we'll find out. For people that don't know, big ass Twitch streamer or ex Twitch streamers, Trainwrecks and I believe one other one came out with their own Twitch or new streaming service called Kick. And from what I've been hearing, they're still working out the kinks, but I've been hearing that it's actually been a pretty decent place to go. Rumble is another alternative that I've been seeing been up and coming, but the problem is that like they still have the spiel or the reputation of basically being where all the alt right and far right people go to be able to say whatever the fuck they want. So we'll see if that one actually takes off. So
Bro.
guess and then obviously YouTube has been doing nothing but basically improving their formula for live streaming. So you know.
We
Guess
shall see.
Yep. We'll see how much these layoffs affect Twitch, and guess we'll go from there. Carter, what do you think
Your
about this?
mom's up and coming.
I'll
Oh
kill you.
God. On God.
You can't post that on the internet. Um, I don't know. Like, as someone who is eagerly awaiting the society, it'll be fun to know that societal collapse will start with the funny little website where people watch e-girls watch Game of Thrones for money.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. Like, Amazon bad.
How they treat their workforce is bad. For clarification.
Amazon bad.
I feel it.
All right, we'll
Jeff
just go with that
Bezos
then.
pissed in a bottle and made me drink it.
Can you not get us a cease and desist order, please?
What's to cease and desist? If he silences me, that only proves my point.
Jesus
For the
Christ.
Amazon founder and CEO, Jeffrey Bezos, made me piss in a bottle. and drink it up while he said, "Yum yum, that's a good baby."
All right, so that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
It will not be silenced.
Jesus Christ. All right, we're just gonna talk about the last article we got going on here and move on. um, in a PlayStation vlog on March 20th, Sonic Frontiers update brings new challenge mode, photo mode, and jukebox tracks on March 22nd. So it came out like 4 days ago. So
True.
those are kind of like, self-explanatory. Photo mode, so you can get those high definition, awesome portraits for your PC background and shit. Um, New challenge modes. After completing the main story campaign, challenge modes are instantly playable via the title screen. The new cyberspace challenge is a time attack mode where you'll complete 7 stages from each island: Chronos, Ares, Chaos, while competing against the clock. Also, Sonic Frontier Alpha now offers Battle Rush, a timed battle mode where you rapidly defeat multiple rounds of enemies, guardians, and titans in one go. Aim for the fastest clear time, and you may get a special surprise. Um, and
Ooh.
then you got Jukebox. Play your favorite Sonic tunes through the Starfall Islands with the new Jukebox feature, which includes music from Sonic Frontiers and past games. If you want a bit of nostalgia as you explore, some of the tracks include Sega Sound Team Tomoya Otani, Mary Kick Holmes in I'm Here, Crush 40, Live and Learn, Crush 40, Open Your Heart, Sega Sound Team Tomoya Otani, Reach for the Stars. You can listen to any of the 53 songs, 13 of which are instantly unlocked and playable as soon as the game is updated. Unlock the remaining 40 songs by collecting sound memories on each island, so keep an eye out for those orange music notes. To change the music on the island, press right on the directional pad or hold to open the song list. The jukebox can also be disabled in the option menu. How do we feel about that, Carter? You love it? Hate it? Want to nuke it? What's going on?
Sonic Frontiers is fucking rad, dude.
Okay.
I enjoyed a lot. I'm glad, like, Sega has found their footing for at least a game. It's a really cool, like, celebration of the franchise, even before all of this stuff's added in. So to kind of see them acknowledging that this is what a lot of fans seem to want and support this game the way they are is really cool.
Agreed.
And is definitely like a high mark in the modern era of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How about you, Philip? You pick up Sonic
Yeah.
Frontiers?
Do I like Sonic Frontiers? I've never played it, but so I have no opinion. My
Why not?
opinions are my opinions are completely biased. My opinions are completely
Bias
biased.
to what?
I just don't really care for Sonic like that no more.
This guy didn't even watch the movies.
Sometimes I feel like you guys
I
settle.
haven't
I
watched the
don't know.
movies yet either.
We settle?
So I
Some,
mean,
sometimes I feel like you guys settled. I don't know.
Settle on what?
Like the games and stuff.
I
Just Sonic
mean,
in general.
I listen. I
I
never said
mean,
I
like,
settled on
yeah, a
shit.
good game is a good game.
Like I said, I don't have an opinion.
Come,
I didn't play Frontier, so
I don't know. It sounds like you got an opinion. You just don't want to say it. What you got to say, Philip? Go ahead,
I don't
say it.
know.
You already said
I've
part of your
only
opinion.
seen clips, so my opinion is invalid.
Listen, you already said part of your opinion, all right? You just insulted Carter and I for
I just
settling.
said
Now I need
sometimes
you to
I.
finish that.
All right, let me go ahead and make a broad statement. Every
Okay.
game that came from our childhood, I feel like when they come back, half of the time people settle, and I do sometimes feel like that is Sonic fans.
I don't know about that because I know that there was a lot of Sonic games that got shit on.
I don't think people settled when Sonic Mania came out. I think we saw that, holy fuck, this is one of the greatest games ever made. because it was.
Yeah, and I'm not even a Sonic fan like that. I just don't. I don't see a lot of people simp over a Sonic game just because a Sonic game got released. You can say that about a lot of titles, but I don't think I don't think Sonic fans are one of them, unless you're talking about like the weird subgenre of furry peoples.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I just that's what I see at
Yeah,
least.
Sonic fans.
Maybe we're seeing different sides, but
I don't know, man. I need to start seeing where you're seeing all these like hardcore simps for these games because I'm not seeing them anywhere.
yeah, maybe.
I may
I
need to
don't know.
go article searching with you and find these simps because I need to make fun of them.
Perhaps, like I said, I haven't played the game,
Sonic the
so I don't have
Hedgehog
an
is a
actual opinion.
bitch
I don't know what the game's like,
motherfucker.
but from what I've seen, it just doesn't seem like that crazy. Seems like an open world Sonic game, which is all right, but that's just kind of how it felt like. Kind of like Pokemon, like they did it. That's cool. I'm glad they did it, but I don't know. When I played the Pokemon, I was like, I love that this is their first try. Their first try was kind of lackluster.
Wait, which game?
Uh, uh, is the open world one the Arceus?
Scarlet
Ours?
Violet. Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
Okay.
I would still say that Arceus was actually a pretty solid game. I didn't hear a
I
lot of
think it
problems
I'm
was
with
a
sure
it.
Arceus did better than Scarlet and Violet did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah. I don't think it was a bad game either, but I mean, I did feel
Don't
like it was kind of bland.
don't get me wrong. Like a lot of people do simp for the Pokemon games and buy them regardless. But I would definitely say that Arceus was definitely a top tier game. But I
Top
would say also
tier?
say that yeah, I would say so. It may
I
be
wouldn't feel
bland,
the
but I
same.
would also argue that it might
I
be
think it's a
just
top tier
because
recent game, but I
I think
think
it
it's top
was.
tier
I think
overall.
it's chicken with some pepper on it.
Lemon
that's just
pepper chicken.
insulting in general.
I just. That's just kind of how
This
I
man
feel with
just
that one.
compared Arceus to fucking
Okay,
bland ass chicken.
if you want me to be like a little more specific, like the older what was the older games? Fucking the older open world ones that they had definitely felt like there was a lot more to them
Oh,
than Arceus felt.
Coliseum and
Yeah,
XD.
yeah, shit like that.
I'll go ahead and give you that one mainly because I never finished Coliseum and I never got the privilege of playing Gale of Darkness. I did hear Gale
Fair.
of Darkness is hard as hell
Gale
though.
of Darkness was fucking amazing. It was
And
hard.
I will also say that I also really liked Arceus specifically because like I just said, I never finished Coliseum and I never got to be able to play Gale of Darkness, so maybe that's also the reason why I love it so much. But
Maybe.
I will definitely say that like out of the last 4 Pokemon games that came out, I would say it's right behind Sword and Shield because that one is probably like number 1 out of the last few games that came out
So
in like the last what,
I don't
4
comment on the
years.
normal Pokemon games because I don't go to the end game content like you guys do. So for you, your guys' horizons are broad. For me, it's just like I went through the story and I did a couple things and that was dope. And that's all I did. So I don't comment on the normal Pokemon games. But when you went to go try an open world one again, and you've had these fucking heavy hitters then, and now I'm playing this one. It like in comparison to not a Pokemon game, but in comparison to an open world game, it just feels a little bland.
I would agree with that. If you're talking about strictly open
Yeah.
world games, we aren't talking about just
Yeah.
Pokemon specific games, I would agree with that. I would say
Pokemon is
that there
gonna
isn't a
do
lot to
what
do.
Pokemon's gonna do. I will always love Pokemon because it is Pokemon. But in the terms of an open world game, if it felt like some peppered chicken.
I need you to stop saying that.
Gotcha, ass man.
I need you to stop calling it
Don't
pepper
censor
chicken.
this man. This
And
man has opinions.
um,
Hear his words.
again, I didn't play Frontier, so I don't know what that's like. But from what I've seen, it kind of feels like that. It feels like the open world was bland. I love Sonic, and I love all his other games, or at least like, some of the older ones. But I just feel like this one was kind of it felt open for for the sake of being open, and that's it. But that's
All right,
from what
fair
I've
enough.
seen.
Vampires
I don't
merge.
know. I haven't played him, so I don't know. Maybe I'm walking around and NPCs are out here talking shit to me all the time.
All right, fair enough. I can agree with
Yeah,
that. But I will say that in terms of scaling, Sword and Shield still ranks number one out of all the Pokemon games that have came out in the last 4 years. Then Arceus, then Scarlet and Violet, then Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And I
Fair.
say that mainly because even though Scarlet and Violet was like fairly broken, it wasn't just like a simple remake on top of being broken.
That's fair. I like Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Sword and Shield was pretty solid because it had plenty of content. The DLC was short and sweet, and you got what you paid for. Introduced a few new areas, introduced a place that you can basically endlessly farm legendaries, which is always pretty solid.
Yeah,
Made
that
it
was pretty
easier to
dope.
shiny hunt.
I think that open world felt a little better than Arceus. But it was also because it was kind of downsized. Like it
Yeah,
was condensed and there was always something to do.
yeah, I agree. But yeah, for people that enjoy the Sonic Frontiers, you guys got some more content to go ahead and buzz through. So have fun with that. But that is the last article that I seen in the squad chat. Did you guys have anything else that you wanted to talk about,
I don't think so.
Carter?
He made me gargle it around in my mouth and then spit it in his when I was done rinsing.
What?
Jeff
This
Bezos pissed in a bottle
motherfucker.
and made me
All right,
drink.
listen. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end the episode here.
Disclaimer: Jeffrey Bezos did not actually make me do that. He said if I didn't say this, his lawyers would come after me and
Jesus
hunt my
Christ.
whole fucking family down.
Oh my God.
Jeffrey Bezos did not say that.
Yeah, allegedly.
For real, guys.
Allegedly. Anyways,
He did it.
that's gonna go ahead and be the end of the podcast segment. The only other thing that I had is really a quick announcement. So, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard us talk about it every now and again when it comes to collecting, but I recently started collecting Pokemon cards again, like just TCGs in general. I collect Pokemans, Digimans, Dragon Ball, and I feel like there's one other one, but I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But
Naruto?
no, I don't think Naruto actually has a TCG anymore. Surprisingly,
Yeah,
um, I know you were
that's
memeing, but
surprising.
unironically, there was a TCG at one point because there always
I
is.
know there was. I had the card.
Which card though?
I don't know Naruto.
Man, this guy's gonna talk shit and doesn't even know. All right. Anyways,
Who's gonna talk shit? You called me Connor.
I still don't believe that I said that.
Jeff Bezos
Anyways,
fucked my wife. Oh, no, wrong bit. God damn it. Podcast is over.
but anyways, I actually sent out my first graded card. For people that don't know, this is the most sought after one from the Sword and Shield era. It's a Moonbryon. Just because I wanted to test out this grading service and I loved it. So I sent out 16 more in a submission. That will be here in around probably like a month, month and a half. Once that happens, I think I'm going to make a YouTube video on it just to see how it does and see how I like actually making submission videos. So let us know in the comments if you want to see that for sure. If I don't see anything, then I'm just gonna do it anyways because it's our fucking channel and I'll do what I want. So yeah. Outside of that, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's podcast episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video, comment on what other articles you might want to see, join the damn Discord so that you guys can actually submit other articles that we didn't get a chance to see. Also, make sure to go ahead and drop a follow on our Twitch channels and our socials. Those should also be in the description, and as well as with all the articles too. So. Outside of that, I think that's all I got for y'all. Have a good night. Guys, say your outros.
Bye. Have a good time.
Jeff
Carter, I
Bezos,
swear to
if you're out there, I know it's